Hey everyone, this is Andy. You'd be probably surprised at how much time I look at my hands before the show, try to figure out funny things or interesting things to do with them. So I have righty and lefty, as you've come to expect. I have the third cup of coffee. The third. It's from a chipped cup, but I still like the cup, even though it's not perfect. Who among us are perfect? I have to ask. No one. So I accept the cup the way it is. I don't drink from the chip part, but I still accept the cup. All right. I'm going to start in. I'm going to start with my right hand. Here we go. I had a fun time playing Jenga with my girlfriend, well, the girlfriend, as she is commonly known in chat, yesterday. Hey, Jess M. Good afternoon. Oh man, I did this wrong. Can I start over again? Can I start over again? You see, what I did, because I'm stupid, is that I know there's no negative self-talk here, but here I put two layers in the same way, cutting the same way. So I'm going to have to start all over again, and I'm going to have to rearrange these layers. It's high drama here on the playing Jenga. All right, so I want to make sure I have all my ducks in a row. If the ducks were not in a row, they were actually in wrong rows. And now they're in correct rows. Well, hopefully they will be. I would like to think this is just a case of sleep deprivation on my part, right? I did that night show, the late show yesterday. I did the morning show this morning. Maybe my sleep patterns on Monday, always kind of squirrely. All right, now we're going to start all over again. We're going to start all over again. And now we have a pristine Jenga tower. Kevin, how you doing, Kevin? Kevin Chaos, I love it. Always considered myself, afternoon, Tobin. Always considered myself chaotic neutral with some good tendencies. That's what I've always considered myself. If I was playing Dungeons and Dragons, that would be my preferred alignment. All right. James Henry, how you doing? I hope all is going well with you. Dropping these. Maybe I just need some more coffee. All good, very nice. Me, I'm doing okay. I have no complaints. Yeah. Am I as productive? Am I as productive as I'd like to be today, James Henry? That's the question. Am I being as productive as I'd like to be? Probably not. Even when I'm busy, and this is probably just for my Baptist upbringing. Even when I'm doing something, I feel like, oh man, I could be doing this other. Maybe that's just the ADD, to tell you the truth. Like I just finished reading some of the book I'm reading through, and I'm like, I put it down, started the show, and I thought, wow, I wish I was just more productive. And productive Productive is relative. That is correct. It's so true. And you know what I have to be? I just have to be a little bit easier on myself. That's what I have to be. Hey, Derek Cruz. I hope you are doing well. I did exercise. Exercise, because I've been so sedentary because of the staying in so much. I've been trying to exercise. Being actively moving around a couple of times a day. I don't think that counts as the whole tower falling down. I don't think that counts. So I guess what I'm afraid of, let me tell you what I'm afraid of. I'm afraid of during the virus, there is some kind of atrophy with me, right? I don't want to atrophy. I want to stay active mentally as well as active physically. See, what a trick that was, huh? So I'm not unhappy about the light. Better camera. Yeah. Thanks. I'm thinking about doing these shows down here in the kitchen / dining room / main room on the first floor because the light is much better. A lot more natural light. The light isn't, I don't feel like the light is attacking me or attacking so in other words, it's not too hot. It isn't too bright. It isn't not bright. I'm happy with the lighting here at this time of day. How about that, huh? So I have officially gotten monetized the channel. So I don't want to inflict you with ads, but there will be ads occasionally, I believe. Since I'm not working, I do need some money coming in, not a whole lot. Use a mirror against the wall. I like that, James Henry. I like that idea. Maybe if I have a mirror and then another mirror over here, we'd have like infinite Jenga towers. It doesn't. China spotlight. Yep. I could have brought the my regular ring light. I don't know if this is the international sign for ring light, but I have my ring light, and I didn't know whether or not this lighting would be sufficient. I think next time I will utilize the ring light. So it all starts getting wobbly again. There we go. Nope, that's not okay either. I was talking this morning about getting a second Jenga set to put on top of the first Jenga set. I think that would be fun. I think I'll put an order in and see what kind of chaos I can do with 2 Jenga sets. See, now that's smart. If you do it in combo with mirror, we'll be able to see the front and the back of the tower. I like that idea. I think I'll start calling you a producer of the show, of all the shows, James Henry, for your contribution. But that is a good idea. I like that. The girlfriend. Hey, I just had to skip an ad to review this video. Monetization. That's right. That's right. You know, I rail. Yeah, so that's going to be like a quarter of a fifth of a second. I mean, of a cent. My girlfriend is well aware of the dismal economy of my blog traffic and how much I get for that. So it's actually YouTube monetization is actually worse than the blog traffic, believe it or not. Is worse than what I get for my blog. Let's see now. Oh, here we go. I think this will work. I tried it once and it didn't work. Nope, I don't know. It doesn't want to budge. Now I feel like I have to put it back in. So I was reading the book that I'm reading through, the Sanjay Gupta book. He's the doctor who's you see on CNN so much. And there seems to be neurons, brain cells, that actually help you to forget when you're sleeping. It helps clean your brain. Find a commercial sponsor, Andy. USA is more progressive than one might think. Well, you know, I don't think they're an evil company. You know, that's the difficult thing, right? It's difficult to try to do the moral thing, right? Here I am, and here's the tower, and here we go. I don't want to make money from evil, basically. I know that might be naive. I wanted the combination you could do other than stacking one on top of the other. Maybe go wider. Yeah, I was thinking about that too. Maybe there's some kind of weird non-Euclidean, you know, some kind of weird way that you can do blocks. I'm sure someone from UCLA or MIT maybe has some kind of weird blocking game. That isn't just blocks. You know, the thing is about monetization, because even though I do secular stuff here on the channel and I do atheism stuff, there are a few videos as I was going through them about monetizing that are not friendly for many marketers, for businesses to put ads on. Like the more ads that I say things, controversial things, let's say controversial things, the more controversial the video, the less likely it is to monetize. But I don't care. I'm going to say what I'm going to say. 9 out of 10 times at least. Ta-da! You know what I feel like? Let me tell you, Block. Let me tell you my problems. This Block, I'm going to call him Blocky. He's my new therapist. You know, Blocky, I haven't written anything really viral on the blog lately, and I feel like I need to do that. Well, Andy, sometimes it isn't you. Sometimes it's an algorithm. You can do everything right, and it still doesn't work out. Thank you, Blocky. Blocky, I appreciate your support. So I'm breaking my rule. I usually start off with my left hand first because I have better brain when I initially start off in the first half hour or so. I believe I can, it's my hypothesis that my concentration is better. That may or may not be true. I don't know. I like to start off with my left hand, but I start with my right hand first. Oh, debated conservative. There's so many people debating other people. And yeah, I can. Obviously, I have skills, I have chops. Um, I've thought about it. I've thought about debating conservatives or debating people. And people do like a good debate on YouTube. Oh, look at that. Just like that. I probably would. Well, thank you, James Henry. Thank you for the kind words. If I was going to debate somebody, I would want. What I find irritating is when there isn't a good moderator, or when people just kind of gish gallop over each other. Those kind of debates really irritate me. I always go back to that Sam Harris, Jordan Peterson. That's all the time we have. Oh, okay. Maybe I will. Maybe I will debate. I don't know. Yeah. Lord knows I have the time. It isn't the fact that I don't have the time to debate someone. I've got oceans of time at this point. Well, I will admit that I have built up the channel. I have built up this particular channel through comedy, which is just fart jokes, really. Jenga, weird, and doing the news show in the morning. Would debating level things up here? They could. It'd be a good intellectual exercise. Oh yeah, look at that. Look at that. I wonder if there's generic Jenga out there. If they're just someone. I imagine they don't. I imagine it's all copywritten. Yeah, you have to agree to the format first. You're right, James Henry. And then I need somebody there to actually enforce the format. Because as you well know, you make all the rules in the world, but unless there's someone there to enforce the rules, then it can just be useless to have the rules in the first place. See, that's not right. That can't go well. You know, those guys are, and I'm going to be nice about Darth Darkins or Smokey Saint. I've seen a bit of their material, and they are just beneath me. I'm going to say it right there. I mean, seriously, just in terms of the brainy stuff, and just from what I've seen about Smokey Saint in terms of who he is as a person in the world. I don't want to see. The thing is, I actually don't. I don't mind discussing things with people. Obviously, I don't want to discuss, but I don't want to amplify another person's channel. I don't want to promote somebody else. I played Jenga with 2x4s. Oh, really, Tobin? It stood 2 to 3 feet. That sounds epic. You know, so that's been one of my concerns. You know, if I could actually talk with someone who isn't in it just to promote their channel and do cheap showmanship, then yeah, that's a possibility too. But that's what I'm afraid of. That's what I don't want to do. I want to be more of the solution. I've always thought of this channel as, one, having fun, and two, promoting good ideas. And I don't want to promote bad ideas while I'm promoting good ideas, if that makes sense. All right, I think I have the block here. Yeah, a debate should be an exchange of ideas, right? Hey, doctor. Now, Dr. Osiris, you sound like you'd be a pretty awesome DC superhero from like the 1950s. Julie, did I see Julie come in here? Watching you Jenga and laughing in disbelief is odd. Oh, really? This is oddly stressful, huh? That's not my intent for doing this, is to create stress in people. Dr. Osiris. I could see Dr. Osiris in the DC comic. His arch foe would be like, I don't know, Set Anubis. I don't know, some kind of weird name like that. I'm afraid it'll fall down. Oh, well, you know, Julie, if there was one game to wax philosophic about, it would be Jenga, to tell you the truth. Especially doing this solo. I know we were talking about it before about, so how do you win at Jenga when you're doing this alone? Is there a winning to this? Dr. Osiris would be a great DC character, totally. Kind of like some kind of Dr. Light, maybe, or, you know, there was a bunch of doctors in the Golden Age and Silver Age, and, you know, now in the DC world. But Dr. Osiris would be pretty incredible. And just think of all the villains he would have to fight. And maybe he'd have some kind of immortality or some kind of rapid healing too, you know, harkening back to the Osiris myth. All right, I'm going to go for this one. I've been dogging this for a while. I think I can get this out without pulling down the whole tower. And this is the next logical I'm going to tap it. That tapping's not working. Oh, wait. Wait, I got this right here. So what I did was I tapped the center one out. I got some distance on that, but the side one is easier now to get rid of or to pull out. And I think this is legal. I think this is a legal move. The touch of death. Indeed, Dr. Osiris. Your sidekick would be Horus, maybe, right? Maybe your sidekick would be Horus. All right, now I'm going to try to, I can't tap the spin. I think I might have officially cheated on this because I don't know what the rules are. I need to have like an extended, it isn't crashing, girlfriend. It isn't crashing. It's fine. Everything's fine. I think there's a relationship between the time, the more instances you feel like you have to say everything is fine, the greater chance of things falling apart. You'd be on the Titanic. You'd be on the Titanic and the captain's like, everything's fine. Everything's fine. Keep the band going. Yeah, this is imminent disaster. I think I have this. This looks like it's got potential. Oh, I like that little psychoanalysis here of the tower. A horse named Horus. Hey, I think that would be great. Especially if it was like a 1950s-esque kind of character, right? You could easily see Dr. Osiris riding a horse, carrying one of those staffs, an Egyptian staff, magical staff, I don't know. Uh-oh. Yeah, that's not working. You know, for some reason, I feel like this is a metaphor for trickle-down economics. Somehow, I think it is. I don't understand how, maybe, but I get the perspective. I get the idea. I have the hypothesis that this is a metaphor for trickle-down economics. That won't work either. See, that's twisting. Oh, look at this. It's going to work. It's going to work. The iceberg is fake news, indeed. You know, for the longest time, I was telling people in terms of what I do for as an entertainer. I just told people that I'm the opening band. I'm the opening act for the band on the Titanic. All right. Indeed, Julie, the voice. I like your whole scheme with the Dr. Osiris character. Oh, my girlfriend and I are watching through The Boys on Amazon Prime. Neither one of us have read the comic. We just started the first season, and it's kind of like a deconstruction of the superhero genre. And if you haven't seen The Boys, it's worth seeing. Gravity is real. It isn't just a theory. Gravity isn't just a theory. Well, how do you know gravity exists if you can't see it? Ooh. Creationists. All right, so how many levels do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. For 1 to 2 to 3 to 4 to 5 to 6 to 7, 28, 29. Yeah, right around 29, 30. That's when things, yeah, the boys. Yeah. It's It's graphic. It is graphic, and it's an adult series about the superhero genre based on a comic book series. But I think it's worth your time. And I think my girlfriend liked the first episode too, that we saw together just the other day. I don't know. Andy and the Lifeboats, the opening act on the Titanic. Limited seating. Tons of mice. Crushing it right there. That's great. I don't know if they'd have, I don't know if I'd have a seat for just being the opening act. Oh, how about that, huh? Woohooligan Comedy. Hello. Woohooligan Comedy has a great channel. I've seen a couple of videos about the boys, but haven't had a chance to see the series at all yet. I don't have enough time in the day, and I wish I could afford all those streaming services. Yeah, I have to tell you something. I didn't have cable before I moved in with my girlfriend. I didn't have cable. I only had the internet, and I had Prime. And so, when you have Amazon Prime, you have the Amazon streaming service too. So that's how I glommed on to. So in other words, the only thing I could watch was Amazon, YouTube, and Amazon for all intents and purposes. And so that's what got me into the boys. If I am magic, I'm the most incompetent of the magic there is. Julie the voice. All right, I think I can do this. Maybe, perhaps. Yeah, that's not going to work. That's not going to work at all. And I can't. Oh, look, I can tap this one. Oh, the girlfriend. You're holding off judgment. Well, it's very gratuitous in some ways and violent. Which you would think, if there were real superheroes in the world, there would be some gratuitous violence going on. It is wobbly. Oh, look at this. That doesn't count. That was only one. I was intentionally pushing it out. So there we go. Yahweh saves the day again. That's right. It's either Yahweh or the highway. Oh, that's interesting. If you had a board set in the back with measurements to be able to look at the height gain. Interesting. That's interesting. I like the idea about maybe doing the mirror idea so everyone can see what the back looks like. I'm going to talk to my girlfriend afterwards. Don't tell her. I'm going to talk to my girlfriend afterwards because she's the smart one out of the two of us. And maybe she has a mirror kicking around that we can use. Oh, look at that. Gratuitous violence can be okay, says Woohooligan Comedy. Not all the time. But I enjoy Judge Dredd. Oh, well, I was a big fan of the comics back in the day of Judge Dredd. Those Judge Dredd comics were... I was a collector. Oh, no! Oh. That's how it ends. That's how it ends. I have time for a second tower, though. Let me collect the pieces of this babbling, rambling tower. Oh. So where did I put the sleeve? Oh, here it is. I love my fictional violence to a point. I do not like real violence. Yeah, real violence is, I could definitely understand that. Such is life. That's right. As I've said before, this is a Sisyphusian kind of way to spend your time. But then in the large scale of things, I think everything is somewhat Sisyphusian. See, this is my jazz hand, Sisyphus. There's a joke in there somewhere. I don't know. All right. Da, 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 da. So I was talking with Pat Green, who was on the show last night. He's the visual artist. He's a photographer from Chicago. And he's actually agreed to come on and do an episode of Best Advice Ever. So I'll be intrigued to find out what advice he's going to talk about. I don't know. We're still talking about when he's going to come on the channel to do Best Advice Ever. But I am interested in hearing what he has to say. All right. I think this works. Does that work? It works off of the top point here. Look at this. It's going to be a beautiful tower. I'm going to have to use my left hand. The left hand, the left hand. I got to put the camera down. Where I live, people adore their guns. They fire them in celebration in the air. Those bullets come back down. I think I talked about that before, Julie, that I had a friend whose mom got hit in the leg by a falling bullet. Someone had shot a gun up in the air like they just don't care. And this is a true story. This is in Arizona. And the bullet came down, ran the bullet, and just hit her leg. I mean, she's okay and everything, but can you just imagine it walking through, getting your groceries, just coming out of a store, and then suddenly a bullet from who knows where just comes down and hits you? Oh, yeah. So I'll tell you this: my disability, my own, that I was born with, that created a certain conservative bias for me. So I haven't done a whole lot. I've done dangerous stuff, but I haven't done anything in comparison to like a normal dude. I haven't done anything too crazy. What's interesting, I think people who do carry, or majority of people who carry weapons with them, don't realize that they're more likely to hurt themselves or someone around them that they care for, just by having guns to begin with. You just got to look at the statistics for that. James. Woohoo again. I would never own a gun because I know statistically the likelihood of making me safer is about the same as being struck by lightning. Yeah, that's true. It's all about the statistics. I can see that, James Henry. There's a lot of, whenever there's a war or a conflict, there's a lot of friendly fire incidences. Here we go. See, this one's, I thought, oh, wait a minute, through the other side? Yeah, there we go. Just like that. Oh, wow. Well, I'd like to see, well, you know, we were talking, I was thinking about that the other day, Tons of Mice, about doing a comparison between Sober Andy doing the Jenga tower and then Andy with 1 drink in him, 2 drinks in him, 3 drinks in him. It would be a very long stream. That's what it would be. And maybe it would just be an excuse for me to drink and have fun. Not that I need an excuse to have fun or to drink, but it would be an interesting comparison. You know, no one needs to own a gun when you think about it. They feel like they need to own a gun because they feel like it's going to increase their security. You know, they're going to be able to protect themselves. When in all reality, well, I'm sure everyone knows the statistics. You're more than likely going to use it on yourself when you're feeling sad or blue, especially if you're a man, if you're a dude. I believe suicide by gunshot is the most common way for men to commit suicide. And there's been studies that just show that just having a gun dramatically increases your likelihood of using it or dying by your own hand. Well, Tobin, you know, you strike me as a responsible person. But for me, you know, Julie the Voice, I never understood it from my brother and dad. It's tied to their respective PTSD. Oh, yeah. Well, PTSD, man, you know, I am grateful that my dad never had a gun. He had anger issues. He fought in Korea. He had issues before going to Korea. And I am thankful he never had a gun in the house. PTSD with firearms, it can be a pretty volatile situation. Yeah, I imagine you must keep it in a safe or locked or something. I don't know if anyone saw that video. It was out. I don't know when it was out, but it was a guy in California who was driving, and he got into a gunfight with another motorist. And the guy's literally shooting. I guess this is the gun. He's literally shooting through to the windshield. So he's driving. He pulls the gun out, puts his knee up on the steering wheel, and just starts blasting through the windshield. Crazy. You have no police in your area. Well, yeah. If you're out in the rural, you know, and especially if you're hunting or if you have coyotes. Wow. I repaired a roof once where a bullet fired in the air came back and killed a TV. That's tough for the TV. Well, I think it raises an interesting question, is that if people actually had services or people felt safe, there'd be a lot less gun owners overall in the country. I heard Sam Harris once say that he wasn't against gun ownership, but being a gun owner should be as difficult as getting your pilot's license. So in other words, there should be a class, there should be regular trainings, there should be certifications, and that doesn't seem to be an unreasonable position for me. That doesn't seem to be an unreasonable position, that if you're going to have a gun, then it should be as difficult as getting your pilot's license. Yeah, ban, conceal, and open carry. Yeah. It needs to be regular. But, you know, I mean, the gun lobby is so powerful in this country. It's difficult, just like all the other lobbies, it's difficult to get any meaningful work done because there's so much money in politics. I see what you did there, Tons. You got a Russian nesting doll worth of a gun and a knife and a dog and a blanket. Oh, Karen. Well, I feel like I underperformed. I feel like I underperformed on that Jenga. I feel like I'm going to do one more, to tell you the truth. I feel like that was not me. That was not the best me. Where's this? Where did I put it? Here it is. That's interesting, Julie the Voice. You were replying back to Doctor. You felt so safe in the UK. You were in Scotland in November 2019. It was awesome to see police without guns. Yeah. Crash. There goes the NSA, the NRA. Indeed, I heard that the NRA is actually trying to move to Texas because they want to try to avoid lawsuits. Basically, they're declaring bankruptcy and moving their center of operations to Texas and hope that somehow being in a more of a pro-gun state will keep them safe from lawsuits. I don't know how valid that is. James Henry, here in Holland, the only people allowed to bear arms in public is the police. Yeah. Well, you can definitely see what's crazy. The idea of these, like in Michigan, right? Michigan, where people could just do open carry on the Capitol, hey, Robert X, Robert Unknown. Hope you're doing well today. And of course, I'll plug my video that I did with a conversation I did with Professor Alan Lichtman about repealing the Second Amendment. Yeah, you can still have guns in the country, but you could repeal the Second Amendment, and so there'd be less of a constitutional stance for or protection for organizations like the NRA. It's an interesting talk I did. Nessie. All right, here we go. How's that? I like that. The Nazi-Russian alliance. Very interesting. It does boggle my mind about, because there are Russians who are like pro-Nazi, and it's like, I don't think you know your history. I don't think that's not right. All right. Tons of mice. Keep away from tons of cats. Wise words. Wise words. Never understood what owning a gun has to being with being free. Yeah. There is a lot of myth, a lot of American mythology around owning firearms. The idea that, we wouldn't have been able to become independent from the Brits if we all didn't have guns. It's like, yeah, well, the reason why America was successful in the Revolution was because of French help. That was the real reason, right there. Yeah, we had to win. We had to do well for a while, but it was eventually the French who really got us made us win, made the Brits lose in the War of American Revolution. Lots of myth. Yeah, David Paul. And, I mean, the thing is, right, as skeptics, atheists, humanists, whatever you want to call yourself, it seems like it's a never-ending fight to dispel these myths, whatever the myths are, whether they're political, economic, religious. It's just, it can be very, you can feel like it's a grind. You can feel like it's a grind. Hey, Theo, how you doing? So, Andy, I'm talking to the block. It's been months inside the house, and now I'm talking to blocks, apparently. And sometimes, well, the blocks haven't started talking back to me. I guess that's the problem. That's the problem. Interesting, Julie the Voice. There is I've mentioned this podcast before, Revolutions podcast, which they're going over the Russian Revolution right now, but they did the French Revolution too. The gentleman who does the Revolutions podcast, which I don't know his name, he's actually coming out with a book on the Marquis Lafayette within the next couple of weeks, maybe. I might have to put that on my reading list. David Paul, after looking at the FBI stats in 2012, I changed most of my opinions on firearms. Yeah. I mean, it's so easy to say follow the freaking data, right? Follow the data, but it is really difficult to do. And good for you for changing your opinion due to new information. David Paul. Oh, right. Remember the hand on the Addams Family? Yeah. Oh, no. Oh, that was uncalled for. I think that was uncalled for. And once again, not doing my best work today. I want to apologize to everyone. Maybe it's a new seating position I'm in. Yes, I do have to shave too, by the way. Yes, it does, Doctor Blocky. Thank you. I hope my insurance covers this session. I hope my insurance covers the Jenga sessions that I do Monday through Friday from 3 to 4, approximately 3 to 4, give or take. Thing, that's right. All right, everyone. I guess that's me. I guess I'm done doing my Jenga-ing for today. I'll be back here tomorrow from 3 to 4 doing this Jenga thing. I will also be doing the morning show tomorrow. I don't know. I guess we're going to have to cover some of the magic fingers here, magic hands, some of the impeachment stuff, right? That's coming with Donald J. Trump. So that's it. Hey, thanks for showing up. And thanks for, talking. It's very, I feel good. This is, like I said, my biggest social outlet besides irritating my girlfriend and irritating my kids when they're here. So thanks for showing up. See, that's it. Apply golf, a golf cow, and I think this is the correct golf clap right here. So, all right, everyone. Take care. Thanks. Mañana, exactly. And it's over.